God's sake. There was no sound, was there? There was no sound then, was there? I just saw the little button gleaming yellow instead of green in front of me. Shall I try that again? Good morning to you. It's Wednesday, the 17th of January 2018, boys and girls. Sometimes, you know when I'm saying the date and that, and there's like gaps. It might be like Wednesday the 18th, because I'm not quite sure what day or time it is at all at any time. I'm really not. I've no idea what day it is, what time it is, the date. I mean, are we even here? Perhaps we're all dead and this is like God's idea of heaven above. Huh? Could be something like that. Well, a very good morning to you, unless, of course, you're up north when it's very... Who's up north? It's very, very cold up north in the UK, isn't it? Oh, my word. I saw all the snow on the weather today. Even though that on the BBC news channel, Carol Smiley is... What's her name? Is it Carol Smiley? She's still smiling, isn't she? While she reads you the terrible weather. In the Mail this morning, it says, hundreds of stranded drivers have spent a freezing night in their cars. That must be awful, that. You know... in your car, unable to go anywhere and stuck there for hours on end. What if you want to go toilet? What if you want to go toilet? We were talking about this last night. If you were with us, we did a show last night around about 10 o'clock. We were talking about that, you know, how wonderful would it be to have a motorhome, okay? And, you know, if you want to go toilet, you just pull over and you get out your driving seat, you walk into another little room and do it. That must be wonderful, having a little motorhome or something. Not so much a caravan, because you'd have to actually get out of the vehicle then and walk round, wouldn't you? Ideal if you are stuck in the snow. You just pull over, you know. And how does the heating work in these things? Is it electric? Or do you have to leave the engine running? Which isn't very good for the environment, is it? Huh? I would love a motorhome with my own toilet. Or maybe just a large car with its own toilet, you know, in a separate room. Not just like a hole in the bottom of the car or anything like that. In the Mail, it says, mountain rescue teams were drafted in to check on drivers stuck in their vehicles at the M74 in Lanarkshire after heavy snow showers struck the country. Heavy snow showers. Try and say that quickly. All schools in the Scottish borders have been shut today following the heavy snow, while commuters have been warned of treacherous conditions following the arrival of Storm... Is it Fion? Fion? Fion. What sort of name is that? Aren't we supposed to have, like, names now? Not names that everyone knows. Fion, I've never heard of such a name. Is that foreign? Is that a foreign name? I don't know what it is. Severe... Be prepared, weather warnings were upgraded. Is it snowing where you are? Let me know if it's snowing where you are. Severe, be prepared, weather warnings were upgraded across the UK last night, with much of Scotland and Northern Ireland blanketed in snow and ice. And drivers warned of lengthy disruptions during rush hour. And of course, a lot of the papers this morning are full of pictures of cars stuck on motorways and sliding over the place and all that. I find it terrifying driving in snow. I really do. I've actually spun a couple of cars on snow and ice. Not recently. This is some years ago. I had a very comfortable, very, very old black BMW about 25 years ago. I was going very, very carefully, 25 mile an hour. I was already terrified of the snow. There were cars tearing past me at 50, 60 mile an hour. And I went up this thing and it went, you know, the road kind of went up and round. And as I went round, I turned the steering wheel and it just carried on going forward, you know. And eventually it just span round. Fortunately, there was nothing coming in the other way at the time. And another one slid. I've had 3 times where cars have slid underneath me. The last one was just a couple of years ago. Where I live in my house, so I come out of the house, get in the car, and then I go up a little sort of slight incline. And it had started hailstones, not snow, hailstones. I mean, a lot of them, which is very painful on a bald head. When hailstones hit you on the bit of head that you haven't got any hair on, it's an offer. It really stings. Anyway, so these hailstones were coming down and I'm driving up there and I've turned at the top. You kind of turn left and then it goes down, quite steep. And I've gone down quite steep, and there's traffic in front of me, so I put the brakes on. It didn't stop. Didn't stop. There were that many house stones underneath the wheels that it just carried sliding forward. And this car's in front of me stopped, and I'm sliding, getting closer and closer. And the only thing I could do, I thought, I wonder if I can turn left. And I turned left, and because I was going so slow, the curb stopped the wheels. It stopped the car. Had I been going fast, it would have bumped up over those curbs, but over that curb. But fortunately, it didn't. So yes, it does terrify me driving in snow and wintry conditions. Some people are used to it, aren't they? You know, certain countries, I suppose Norway, the Nordic countries, Norway, Iceland, all places like that, they know exactly how to drive in snow. We only get it a few days a year. Not like when we was children in the 1970s. You'd have snow for ages. Snow and ice on the ground. That was the thing. Ice on the ground for weeks on end. You don't get that now. You just get a few days here and a few days. Oh, it's the worst winter we've ever had. No, it's not. No, it's not. These winters are nothing like what they used to be. All due to global warming. That's why. It's because you keep using plastic bottles, dear. That's why it's so warm. Yes. Let's say hello to some people this morning. Good morning to Dr. Christopher JDBR Ireland, PhD. Are you a doctor? Surgery. Hello. I like that. Who are these women who work in the doctor's surgeries? Hello, surgery. Surgery. Who says on YouTube it says karaoke from Central Station. Does it really? Oh dear. I don't know why that is. Let me see if I can change that for you. Oh, this titling of videos and everything on YouTube is very, very complicated. Is it on channel? I don't know what this is going to be on. Oh, someone else is telling me we can't do the messages. It just says live to me. I don't know why it says that. It's really complicated, YouTube. It seems to have become more complicated than it was. It just says to me live. Hang on a minute. Let's try going on my channel then and see. Let's have a look. And I'll see if I can fix that while we're on the fly, so to speak. There it is. Oh, you're right. Yeah, there it is there. Let's just... it says that. Oh, hang on. It's me. It's me. Hang on. Edit video. If I change that for live, that might work. Let's try that. It might not work to you. I think I'll just have to title it live. What it is, there's like default settings. Okay? And if you change those while there's a show on, then it remembers what the last one was rather than doing a new one every time. It is very complicated, YouTube. We're on 2 YouTube channels, and for some reason I only get the messages from one of them, and I can't work out how to do it. I get fed up with the YouTube thing sometimes. The picture quality on YouTube is far, far superior to what you get on Facebook, but it's much more complicated to work. Maybe I should just come off YouTube altogether and be done with it, because I get fed up with the complications on that thing. Thank you very much, Dr. Christopher, JDBR Ireland, PhD. I think you must be a very intelligent person with all those letters after you. I've got no letters after my name. 2 O-levels I've got, physics and English, and they were C grades. Good morning, Christopher. Thank you very much, sir. First messages on the Facebook this morning. Richard Leedham in Australia. Good morning to you, sir. Mark Jones is there. Hello, Mark. I think I saw you doing a little show the other day. I was kind of flicking around on the Facebook thing, and I saw you up there while I was doing my dinner or something. Morning, Evan, who's here on time this morning. Thank you, Evan. I'm glad you're here on time. You must have had an late night last night, weren't you, up in your observatory? Trying to spot the latest planets that we could possibly live on. Huh? I'd quite like to go take a trip to another planet. Wouldn't that be fantastic? You know, but I couldn't be wearing one of those suits. Couldn't be wearing a spacesuit, you know, all enclosed. No, it had to be somewhere that's got air. I'd have to have somewhere that's got air. Maybe that like the globe that they've got in the in Cornwall, the Eden Project. Take one of those up with me. I might survive in one of those. Huh? I was up at 8 o'clock this morning. Just woke up. You know, I'm not one of these people that stays there laying in bed till 11, 12 o'clock in the morning. How can anyone do that? What a waste of a life, isn't it? I wake up, that's it, might as well get up. Hanging around for my usual get-up time. Good morning to Ross. Welcome to the show, Ross. Zach's there. Morning, Zach. Kevin Bell. Good morning, Kevin. Someone from one of the Arabic countries, I think, is there. Good morning to you, sir. I'm sorry, you've just got the little, the writing, the Arabic writing. I can't read that, unfortunately. I'm not Arabic speaking, I'm afraid. Bum 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 ba da 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 da. Morning, Ben Parker. Did you take the red pill or the blue pill? I've got a blue one to take and an orange one this morning, and 2 white ones. That happens around about 10 o'clock in the morning and 10 o'clock at night, and I can do it an hour either side. Is it Carol Kirkwood? Thank you, Evan. Carol Kirkwood, always smiling and happy, isn't she? I like her. I really like Carol Kirkwood. She delivers the weather, no matter how bad it is, with a smile, doesn't she? Kev says, if you go to toilet in a car, I suppose you have to do it in a bag and go in a cup. No, I wouldn't do that, Kevin. Although I do carry a paper cup in my car just in case. It's only been used a few times. I wash it out and put it back in the car again. Don't you? Any of the fellas have paper cups in the car? It's a bit more difficult for ladies, isn't it? Huh? T-shirt weather in Cornwall. Oh, that's right. So Evan's got a motorhome. It's gas heating. Oh, okay. Like the Calagas things, I suppose, is it? That's a good idea. A little motorhome. I wonder how much a second-hand one of those would be. Yeah, that'll upset the neighbours, wouldn't it, eh? Parking one of those. That's got to be 2 or 3 parking spaces, one of those. I wouldn't want a massive one. Sort of the size of a... enough to get a toilet and a bed in it. Perhaps a little stove. And a little washing up thing. I don't know how big that would be. That really upset. I could park it on that corner where people park and no one can get past. That'll upset them all right. I'm sick to death of the car parking people around here with no consideration for other people. They park right up to the corner and you've got like this gap a fire engine couldn't get through. It's as simple as that. I don't know what they do, fire engines. If they come down a road and they can't get through, what do they do? Do they just literally push their fire engine through? Surely it must be your fault for parking there, so if there's any damage, well, it's your problem, isn't it? Terrible. Terrible. Fion is a male Irish name. Oh, is it? I didn't know that. Good. Oh, look, Evan's got stuff. He's got a DR and 2 PhDs. Chris DR. Evan. What's a DR? Oh, Dr. Evan. I beg your pardon. Dr. Evan. I'm going to call you Dr. Evan in future. Dr. Evan in future, yes. And that is correct. Morning, Ray Reynolds, Danny Clements. Kevin's working as a doctor. Good morning, John McGinley. Morning, John. Are you coming down to the karaoke soon, John? Huh? It's about time you came. Morning, SRS Gregorian. Oh, you're usually with us on YouTube. He's on Facebook Live this morning. Past a shop called Coco & Co. Coco & Co. They don't need many letters for that, do they, when you think about it? Carl Edwards is there. Good morning, Carl. Hello. Would I travel to Earth? No. No. As people like having half conversations, I can't cope with this. Let's just go up the top there and get back to the top there. That's it. Good morning to Christina. Kevin says, in America, they will ram your car if you're in the way. The fire truck must get through. And I totally go along with that. When you see the cars that park here, there's like a bit where you come down the road and turn left, right? And they will park like that. And sometimes you actually have to reverse because it's like a T-junction. You have to, instead of going left, you've actually got to go left a bit and then reverse backwards that way to be able to get through the gap. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Good luck with your hospital operation here, Danny. Now, anyone travelling on a plane soon? Anyone going on an aeroplane soon? Check this out. British Airways cabin crew. This is from a couple of days ago and I've been saving this to read for you. British Airways had to ground a jet after the cabin crew refused to fly on it due to a bed bug infestation. Some dirty person has gone on there and dropped all their bed bugs onto the plane. How awful. Aren't they horrible? One of my friends had bed bugs. He stayed in a hotel. And he was kind of aware that it was a little bit itchy at night. In the morning, he was covered in bites. Bedbugs. Oh, not bedbugs. The British Airways staff walked out minutes before takeoff and were beyond their working hours when a replacement plane was found. This is awful. Awful. The flight to Ghana eventually left Heathrow 4 hours late. It is the latest bed-bug embarrassment to hit British Airways in recent months, amid protests that cheap cleaning contractors are not doing a proper job preparing jets for flights. Well, I mean, what do they do with that? Is it some sort of spray they do? I know when I've been to Australia, before you get there, I think it's Australia, or it might be one of the Caribbean countries. Not sure now, but before the plane stops, they walk up and down spraying the plane. Honestly. I'm like, oh, and they tell you it's not dangerous, but if you want to put a tissue over your face, like that. Hello. And they're spraying up and down the plane before you get off. That is actually true, that is. A BA source says the cabin crew saw bed bugs crawling over the seats, visible to the naked eye. Oh, my word. Visible to the naked eye. The eye is here. The eye is here. You just imagine seeing those before you sit down on a plane seat or getting into a hotel bed. They say it's unacceptable to work on that aircraft, said the staff. The Sun can also reveal crew frequently complain of bed bugs on the route to Las Vegas. Oh, because you can bring them home, can't you? You could bring them home. You could be having that flight. Okay? Probably oblivious to anything going on around you. And then you get there, you get home, you put your coat back on, and you just trundle off home, you get home, and then, unbeknown to you, you're dropping bed bugs all over the floor and in your own beds. Ooh. Don't like bed bugs or creepy crawlers. BA said it immediately took its jet out of service once the problem was raised. I should hope so as well. Awful. Awful. Got some other plane stories for you this morning as well. Good morning, James Clark. Welcome, James. Oh, Kevin sends a story in. Flight lands early after passenger smears... Oh, that's awful. Smears poo everywhere. What is wrong with people? Aren't they awful? Talking of poo, someone suggested a game for me to play, Poo Head. Poo Head. This is a game, like a board game. I've been buying board games. Poo Head. And I looked it up. Poo Head. The poo flinging game in stock. The poo flinging game. Throw poo at your friend's head to score. 3 poos are included. This super fun game comes with the stinkiest idea of them all. Simply pop the poo head hat on your head, wait for your friends to throw the soft poos at you and try and catch them. I mean, what sort of sick game is that? This is why don't you like Monopoly? Or Snakes and Ladders or something like that? So I'm not going to purchase Poo Head, I'm afraid. That doesn't look like a game that I'm going to enjoy. I'm sorry, no, it's not. Do you actually have to do them before you throw them at someone? Or are they included in the box? It's all very complex. How awful. Good morning to Adam Vilma. Welcome to the show, Adam. Hope you're well. Christina doesn't like bed bugs either, do you, darling? Itchy, nasty bed bugs. Every bed has its bugs. Not in this house, they don't, Evan. I keep my clean bedding. Thank you very much. Although I have to say, after the show today, I've got to... I've already stripped my bed. I've suddenly realised, and it's amazing how quickly time goes, isn't it? I suddenly realised I haven't changed my bed sheets since just after Christmas. Isn't that all? That's like 4 weeks. Where's the time go? Is it going to like that? We're nearly 4 weeks since Christmas now. I mean, I like to change them once a week. My mate does his bed every couple of days. He changes all the sheets. Oh, he has mind and everything, he does. Oh, he's got the OCD thing. He's always cleaning and puffing up pillows and changing sheets. I mean, a week's all right, isn't it? Because I've got my John Lewis mattress topper as well that I've had for a year now. I like to turn that over. The bed gets turned over. Should do it every week. I got up this morning. I thought, when's the last time I changed these sheets? And I looked at them and they were reindeer. Well, I only put the reindeer sheets on. They're nice, what is it called? Flannelette sheets. Lovely and warm. But I only bring out the reindeer ones just before Christmas. Well, they're reindeer ones on there. So I don't think I've done them for 4 weeks. You know, I mean, it's only me in the bed, unfortunately, for many years now. But that's not the point, dear. Bits of me are dropping out all over the bed, aren't they? Some people call that leprosy. Andrew says, if you've got OCD for cleaning, mess your house up and then invite him round. Oh, no, not in my house. Only in his house. That is true. You mess up his house and he goes mad. He comes over here. Oh, I don't have bread in the house anymore. He get a bit of bread, cut it on the worktop and then just go and eat it. No plate or nothing. It's only in his house. Only in his house he worries about the whole OCD. He comes in here. I've never seen him pick up a Hoover. Dear me. Let's go back forwards. Good morning, Mark. Welcome to the show. Congratulations, Mark. You're up before 10 o'clock. I was up at 8 o'clock preparing for this show this morning, dear. 8 o'clock I was up. Egyptian cotton sheets. No, not in the winter. Not in the winter, Evan. Absolutely not in the winter. Too cold. No, got to have the flannelette sheets in the winter until around about May, and then normal sheets come out. Egyptian cotton. You get them dirt cheap. No need to be 100. I've seen sheets for 100 quid. 100 quid for a sheet. Oh, I never forget. I went into Harrods. This is a couple of years ago for my nephew's 18th birthday party. We took him in there. And we had to walk through the bedding section for something. And I was after a mattress topper. And we saw this one hanging up. So my mate goes over to it and said, "Here, what about this one? Feels all right," and starts banging it. This woman's come running over, dear. "Can I help you at all, sir?" I said, "Yes, we're just looking at this. How much is this one?" £24,000. £24,000 for a mattress topper. I kid you not. You know, I thought I did very well afterwards when we went to John Lewis and got one for about 120 quid. Mattress topper. Oh, lovely. That really is luxury. Yes, glad to see you up early. Morning to Jason Shaw as well this morning. Morning, Jason. And young Shane Cameron's with us this morning. Thank you very much. Yes, indeed. Now, carrying on with the holiday stories, I've got a little bit more here for you. I don't know what you think about this one. This is in this morning's Telegraph. I'm looking at the big papers as well today. Andrew said, is it filled with £50 notes, the mattress topper? You would think so for that amount of money, wouldn't you? What was it? What did I say? It was £24,000? Oh, no, it was £40,000. I remember distinctly. This mattress topper was £40,000 in Harrods, hanging up it was. And my mate's going bang, bang like that. Oh, this is soft. I should think so. For 40,000 quid, mate. Dear me. Don't know what you think about this one. A man travelling from... There's a picture of him on there as well, in the Telegraph. A man travelling from Iceland... I'll tell you, the picture makes a difference to the story. He looks mixed race, probably a little bit more black than white, okay? You know, there's sort of various shades, I suppose, of mixed race people. So it's probably a little bit more black than white, but mixed race of appearance. A man travelling from Iceland to London was turned away from a British Airways flight after he wore 8 pairs of pants and 10 shirts to avoid paying for excess luggage. I did that once. I never forget. It was a Ryanair flight. I only ever flew Ryanair once. Never again. Miserable old bag on the checkout. What a miserable old bag. This is going back about 14 years, anything between 10 and 14 years. And I was DJing actually at a Club Med resort in France just for a week. DJing and MCing, you know, with a mic, hello, bringing people on the stage, that sort of thing. And I had my little boxes of records, and I got to the front there. Hello, give them a ticket. Always nice and friendly to people. I'm always nice and friendly to members of staff. Assuming, of course, I think they're going to be nice and friendly back. You know, No one wants to deal with miserable people who work kind of in front of your customer services or supermarket people. No one wants to talk to those people. They're just miserable people. And she, I'm looking around. She's not really looking up. Good morning. I put my things on there, and she looked up. And she's looking around. Put your bags on there, please. I put my bags on there. She said, "What are those?" I said, "Cedars." Well, they'll have to go. They'll have to go in. What is it? She said. She said, "Well, you're not allowed to have. You're not allowed to have that. You'll have to pay for those." Oh, right. I said, "Why is that?" "Well, it's over. You're only allowed so much weight. No, you're going to have to pay for those. Go over there and pay." And she was really curt and rude. Really, this happened to be the day after St. Patrick's night. So I suppose they were all out drunk the night before, being Ryanair, because it's an Irish company. I assume that. And I said, "Oh, surely not. Right, now you have to go and pay over there." "Oh, right. Well, hang on a minute." So I then opened the little box and I started taking the CDs out and putting them in my pockets. What are you doing? I said, "Well, I'm taking some of them out to save weight, that I won't have to pay so much." "Well, you can't do that." "Well, I am, and I'm taking them out." Oh, just close the box and take them on with you. And that was it. Miserable old bag that was. Ryanair, that was. Ryanair, and I never flew with them since. I think it's awful how they are charged. People are charged left, right and centre to go on these damn planes. Anyway, this bloke, who happens to be called Ryan, nothing to do with Ryanair. This bloke, Ryan, who goes by the name of Ryan Hawaii, was due to fly from Keflavik Airport in Iceland on Wednesday when he was refused a boarding pass by the airline. This was British Airways airline, I think it was. Just a moment, let me just double check that for you. Yes. He was reportedly stopped from boarding his flight back to the UK after he put on all the clothes that wouldn't fit in his checked luggage. Well, I mean, you would do that, wouldn't you? I would try that. I think coming back from Australia, although I was flying in the business class, so you've got a lot more leeway. I mean, you pay for it. And I always say this to people: if you're going on a long journey, anything more than sort of 8 hours, pay the extra for the business class on the seat and drop a star on the hotel. Because you don't need to stay in a really posh hotel when you're going on holiday. It's just a total and utter waste of money. What are you going to do? Go on holiday and sit in the hotel for the whole week? No, you only go in the hotel to sleep, don't you? Or maybe you want a little afternoon sleep. You don't move into the hotel. I don't understand people that pay up for 4 or 5-star hotels. It doesn't make sense to me. You're paying an awful lot of extra money just to sit in a room. No, drop a star on the hotel or two and pay the money for the business class seat on the plane where you can lay down and you can go to sleep and you get nice food and a lot of space. There's a lot of space in business class. There really is. And on the times I've gone to Australia, I've done it every single time. And I've stayed in like 2 or 3-star hotels. That don't bother me. Anyway, this bloke, talking on the social media page to document the debacle, Mr. Hawaii tweeted, "British Airways, hi, being held at Iceland because I have no baggage, put all the clothes on and they still won't let me on. Is it racial profiling?" I doubt that very much. I thought you've pulled that one, have you? No, it's not racial profiling. It's because you took the mick and put all your clothes on, mate. Nothing to do with the colour of your skin. Nothing to do with that. What, British Airways, large company, do you think they would want to risk not letting a black man on a plane? How would that go down for their business? I don't think so, sunshine. Don't pull that card every single time. Ridiculous. He was again refused from 2 flights in 2 days for no valid reason, he tweeted. EasyJet as well explained that the captain and ground crew were concerned about reports from the previous day and that Mr. Hawaii was provided with a full refund. So presumably, when he went to try and get on the EasyJet one, they already knew what happened on the British Airways one, that he was stopped going on that, so they were a little bit suspect. Well, terrorism. Terrorism, isn't it? Huh? British Airways vehemently deny that the incident had anything to do with race. Absolutely. You're totally on the side of British Airways there. Are you saying like there are no black employees on British Airways? Don't be so bloody ridiculous. Oh, they pull that card, some of them, don't they? It makes me so angry. The decision to deny boarding, says a spokeswoman, was absolutely not based on race. We do not tolerate, get this, and they then said, we do not tolerate threatening or abusive behaviour from any customer and will always take appropriate action. So you can, that tells it all to me, that does. You know, he was obviously standing at the front desk where he'd had trouble getting on because he's got all these clothes on. Surprise, surprise. You know, and I bet he started mouthing off at the desk instead of taking his clothes off. Because this is what people are like now. This is totally what people are like. I will do anything that I want. You know, no one wants any rules anymore. They just want to be able to walk around, whatever the situation, and do anything that they want and say anything that they want. And when they don't get away with it, they start screaming and shouting abuse at members of staff. That's what's happened here. It's obvious. It's obvious. Security were called. Here, look at this. Talking about the fiasco, this bloke said, I waited in the queue politely with other passengers. And once I made it to the desk, I was still refused my boarding pass. Of course you were waiting politely with other passengers. The same as everyone else in the queue. They're all in the queue waiting to get on. Why should you be different to anyone else? Security were called. Now, you wouldn't call security unless there was a problem, would you? On the nights I've been working, you know, I only call the doorman or security if I can see a problem about to happen, because you kind of get used to looking at people and think, oh, hang on, there's something going on over there. And I say, all right, John, come. I think there might be something starting off over there. Okay, Chris, we're keeping an eye on it. Thanks. You know, and there are other things I can do to get a security person to come straight, like immediately over. But it's an absolute last resort. The security people don't want to be called over every 5 minutes because you can't deal with something. So if they've called the security guard here, then clearly he was creating a problem. Here we go. Security called. At this point, I started to film them. I mean, you're just asking for trouble, aren't you? Out comes the little camera. Security tried to slap my phone out of my hand. I bet they didn't. I moved, continued to film and explain that I was well within my rights. Police were called. There you go. The police were called as well. Nah, you're just trouble, mate. I'm not even going to carry on with that story. You just look like you're a load of trouble, mate, aren't you? Huh? Dear me. Ashley stayed at a 5-star hotel last year in Tenerife. Well, did you spend the whole holiday in the hotel? What's the point of that? What is the point of that? Just sitting in a hotel for the whole holiday. It's not just a waste of money staying in a 5-star hotel. It really is. And spend the money. I mean, if you've got the money to fly business class and stay in a 5-star hotel, that's all well and good. But if you haven't, I would personally prefer to spend the money on a comfortable flight. And then when you get there, you know, bed's a bed, isn't it? A bed's a bed, unless you're in my bed with my John Lewis mattress topper. Thank you very much. Oh, let's have a look. What are we chatting about on there? Good morning to Joel Fairhurst. Welcome to the show, Joel. Good morning to best friend Ron. How's your chest this morning, Ron? Is it a little bit better today? I hope you're better. He's got a very, very bad chest. That's why he wasn't here last night playing board games with us. Mark, have you been watching Celebrity Big Brother? Absolutely not. No, I have not. Crap television. How can you sit there watching? Because all this reality television, it's celebrities and non-celebrities rowing, fighting and bonking. That's it. That's it. That is the whole of entertainment. And I think, to be honest, it's very sad that people sit there and watch that crap. No, thank you. I was watching another episode of Victoria because I missed it the first time round. So it's on Netflix at the moment, which I love very much. So much on Netflix. I'm up to episode I've just started watching episode 4. Series 1, episode 4 of Victoria. That, my friend, is proper television. You sit there and watch your blooming celebrity Big Brother and this, that and the other. No, thank you. Not for me. I couldn't tell you who was on Big Brother. I'll never forget once someone came in to me and said, oh, that's so-and-so from Big Brother. I said, who? So-and-so from, I don't watch it, do I? The person came over to me. Oh, hello. And he had glasses on. What was his name? Fat thing he was. I can't remember his name now. And he had dark glasses. Can't remember the name. Doesn't matter. And he goes, oh, hello, I'm so-and-so from what? I said, you're from what? Oh, from I said, well, I don't watch it. I don't know who you are, I'm afraid, mate. Do you want a record? Oh, and they go away feeling deflated. I'm terrible. I really am. Film recommendation. Hidden Figures. The story of 3 black ladies working for NASA on the Apollo mission. Oh, Catherine. Okay. What's that called? 3 black ladies. No. Hidden Figures. Oh, I'll write that down. Hidden. I'll have a look for that. Figures. There we are. Hidden Figures. I look forward to the day where it doesn't matter what colour you are or anything like that. Everyone, and it's not mentioned. You know, the whole thing about having a black president. You didn't have a black president. You had a president. That's it. You know, we don't have a white prime minister. We go around, we have a white prime minister. No, we don't. We have a prime minister. We have a female prime minister. No, we don't. We have a prime minister. Iceland. Doesn't Iceland have a gay prime minister? We have a gay prime minister. No, you don't. You have a prime minister. All these little boxes everyone wants to go in all the time. It's just silly. Why can't you just all be one and be done with it? Good morning to the lovely Anne Taplin. Good morning, Anne, who says, trip to the hospital today for an EMG, but have a moment to spare. Thank you, Anne, for spending your moment with me today. Have you having wires attached to you everywhere? Don't you hate it when they rip the wire off? Oh, I hate that. I've had a heart thing before. Now, why did I have that? I don't know. Oh, it's because they did my heart rate. I have to go to the hospital every few months for a little checkup on something. And they noticed my heart rate was quite low. It was something like 48 or something like that. And this heart machine, and they started to attach all these little sticky things they put all over you, right? And then wires get attached to that, and they turn it on and check everything well. And the nurse comes over and says, do you do a lot of exercise? I said, well, yeah, I go swimming most days of the week. Ah, she said, that's probably what it is then, because I got quite a low heart rate. I did tests and that was all right. And that's fine. There's no pain. It doesn't feel like you're being electrocuted or anything like that. Right? And then they rip these things off, and that's what hurts. Or it must be even worse if you're hairy. Have we got any apes watching this morning? Who's a hairy ape? Are you one? Have you got hairs? My dad was a hairy ape. He was covered in hairs, my dad. Imagine ripping those things off there and they take all your hairs off as well, doesn't it? And there's not just like one. There must be about a dozen of these things all over your chest and everywhere else. Good morning to Juan. Welcome to Juan. Good news. The tea bags I sent to New York have arrived. Excellent. So I hope, Juan, you've enjoyed cups of Harrods English breakfast tea, number 14. I told you how to make it, didn't I now, yes? Tea bag in cup. Put the kettle on. Boiling water. Not hot water. Not very hot water. Boiling water. Okay? When the kettle's boiling, you pour on the boiling water. Wait about 4 minutes. Fish the tea bag out. Squeeze it on the side of the cup. A little bit of milk in there. And drink. If you must have sugar in it, put some sugar in there as well. Okay? Good. Up we go. There we are. Good morning to Adam La Plama. You're a bit late this morning. You must have been on a job somewhere. Adam gets up at like 6 in the morning and starts fixing people's toilets, don't you? Well, I don't think I could look in a toilet at that time in the morning. Oh, no thank. Puts his hands down U-bends and all sorts of places. You get your arm right in there, don't you? Good morning, Royston. Ashley says, I didn't stay at the hotel at that time of year. Did some excursions as well. Lovely. Lovely. I hope you enjoyed our Florida videos. You must go to Florida. I highly recommend it. You can probably both go to Florida. I don't know how much money you've got to spend, Ash. How much have you got to spend on a holiday? And I, travel advisor Chris Reardon, will be able to assist you. You can probably both get to Florida and back with the hotel, Business class on a plane for about £3,000 for both of you. That's a fairly reasonable route, that is. Las Vegas is double that. I don't know why that is, because it's about the same distance, isn't it? The Las Vegas route, you're looking, for two of you, you're looking about £6,000 or £7,000. That's a lot of money. Florida, business class, so you get the flat bed and all that on BritishAirways.com. Look that one up. Business class, 2 people in a 3 or 4 star hotel. All the hotels are nice, and you want to stay on International Drive. That's kind of in the middle of everything. Don't need a car. You'll be able to get little buses and shuttles everywhere from the hotel. Generally, the hotel will provide shuttles. And if at the end of the day you can't get a shuttle, just get a cab. No need to drive if you don't want to out there. I'm a bit funny driving on foreign roads. It scares me a bit. Because not the fact that you're so much on the left. Oh, on the right, is it? No, not the fact that you're so much on the right-hand side of the road. It's the rules of the road. In each country, they're going to be slightly different, aren't they? And it's not always common sense. Just because a sign says 30 and it's got a circle around it, doesn't mean that's a 30 mile an hour. You mustn't go faster than 30. I think some of the motorways in, they're called I-roads, freeways, places like that. I think they have a minimum speed limit, actually. And I think it's 55 miles an hour. And if you go slower than that, you can get a ticket. You know, that's how it is. And none of them go slow as some of the bar staff I mentioned. Does it include park tickets? Don't know. Have a look. BritishAirways.com. And Virgin as well. Virgin Atlantic. They're very popular with people that want to go to Disney. I think you might find on Virgin... If you don't want to go business class, that's okay. You're on the plane 8 hours. If you're happy sitting in a bolt upright seat for 8 hours, then that's fine. You get it much, much cheaper than that even. But I think on the Virgin ones, you can include the park tickets as well. Okay? Worth looking. So if you was to go to Florida, you would need 5 days out of your 2 weeks to do all the Disney stuff. Maybe longer. There's that much to do. There's all that. There's SeaWorld, which is quite good. And you might be a bit funny with seeing, great big fish in small tanks, that sort of thing. I understand that. It's not the best of worlds, is it? And there's this big... In SeaWorld in Orlando, there's this big, shallow pool. And it's got those flat... What are those flat fish? Stingrays, I think. They're stingrays. And you can feed them. You go and buy yourself a little thing of fish, and you put your hand in there. There's a video of me and my nephew doing this, actually, in those videos. You put your hand like that, and the flatfish, they come along and take the food off your hand, and you put it in the water. Terrified the life out of my nephew. Courtney's off to Mexico. How lovely. How lovely. I nearly went to Mexico. Nearly, but not quite. Well, I kind of stopped there and flew home early, because me and my mate had a row. Honestly, that's why we don't go on holiday together. I've told you before, I can't put up with any fun for more than 2 hours at a time. They get on my nerves after that. That's anyone, well, except little ones, except my nieces and my niece and nephews and my great nieces and my great nephews. I can put up with them for days on end, but anyone else, no, maximum of 2 hours. Then I'm off. You do laugh about these things, don't you? Hello to Ronnie. Best mate Ron's there. That's my best mate there, Ron up there. Flew upper class on hard cars. We drove out and had a look around. We was there for 7 days. So he's quite happy. My mate's quite happy to go out and hire a car. I think they done it in Dubai. Did they do it in Dubai as well? Did you hire a car in Dubai? I'm not quite sure of that. But they certainly hired a car when they were in Las Vegas and went out and had a look around. They went to the Hoover Dam, which is just this great big piece of concrete. Although you don't have to do that, you see. If you do a helicopter flight, when you're in Las Vegas, it flies over Hoover Dam. And it's wonderful. Have you ever been in a helicopter? Oh, it's so smooth. Not like one of those little planes which are up and down a little bit like that, aren't they, those planes? Helicopter flights are fantastic. They're really smooth. You wouldn't think it, would you? All that vibration, like that on the helicopter. No, it's really, really smooth on a helicopter. Surprising, really. Kevin says, I don't see what you guys see in Florida. It's the crap area of South. Nothing but tourist junk, and it's not even interesting. We love it, Kevin. We love Disney. We love Disney. We love Disney, absolutely. Evan's off to Johnson Space Centre for work in March. Wow. I've been to... again, in Florida, I've been to... What's the Space Centre in... Is that the place that I've been to in Florida? I can't remember now. It's years and years ago since I went to that. That would have been early 90s that I went there, or maybe even late 80s. I was able to see my son at that point, and he would have been about 7 years old. And we went, I'm sure we went to the Space Centre. Cape Canaveral, possibly? What's the one in Florida? We went down there, and I can't remember it that well, but we went into like the room. You were able to go into the room where they controlled the first Apollo and all that business. So it's fascinating. Fascinating. Let's have a look there. Bum, 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 bum. Hello to Ross. Hello, Ross, who says, hi, Chris, Adam. He's always saying hello to everyone. I beg your pardon. Okay. Paul says, get to Mexico before they put the wall around it. Yeah, where the spaceships take off. Ronnie went there as well. Wonderful place. It's all there. I'd like to go and see that again, but it is time. I do think it's time for another trip to Florida, because I haven't been for ages and ages now. Let's see if he's there. Just a moment before I tell you this. I don't think he's there. He's going to be at work now. It's my nephew's 21st birthday this year, and I want to take him somewhere, because I've been on holiday with him, and that was fun. We went to Florida a few years ago, and he said, I would love to go back here. So I'm kind of toying up with that idea, sort of around December. If I time it for December, we could see the Christmas Disney stuff as well in Florida. So I'm considering that, or Vegas or something like that for his 21st birthday. So if you're family, don't tell him that, because I want that to be a surprise. Plus, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do yet. I've got to test the water, find out what he'd want to do without him realising that. Well, I'm very clever at that. Very clever at that. Are you going to... You didn't say you were going on holiday, Ronnie? He's going to Washington, D.C. I wonder what's there to look at. Good morning to Hayley. Welcome to the show, Hayley. Florida has the Peabody Ducks. Quack, quack. Do they quack? Do they quack a lot? Right, I've got one more final story for today, boys and girls. Benidorm. You know that fantastic TV series, Benidorm? This is in the Sun this morning. Do you like Benidorm? One of my favourite programmes on the telly, written by a friend of mine, Darren Litton, who used to come in a black cap when I DJ'd in there. Sometimes makes an appearance at karaoke, incognito. Okay, you wouldn't know he was there. I'm sworn not to tell anyone when he's there, and he comes and sings a couple of songs. Well, well, well. Good news, boys and girls, in this morning's Super Soaraway Daily Mirror. Some big name telly veterans will be singing We're Off to Sunny Spain as they join the cast of Benidorm. Oh, we're off to sunny, sunny Spain. Viva España. Da, 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 and all that business. Yes? The Chuckle Brothers, Halen Pace and Bobby Ball are among the guests on the 10th series. These are all big stars from years ago. Actress Claire Sweeney and Kate Fitzgerald, who worked together on Brookside. Dun, 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 dun. I think I watched a few episodes of that. It had really bad set, didn't it? All the walls used to shake and that when they closed doors. It was this ghastly housing estate that was filmed on. It was awful. Looks a bit like the new housing estates now, Legoland. Have you seen these new estates? I mean, they are popular with people, not for me. My niece lives in one. My nephew lives in one. You know, where they have like a road or an estate, and all the houses look the same. It took me years, and I mean years, to find my way to my niece's house, because you turn into the road and all the houses look exactly the same. Awful. That was a bit like Brookside. Not like, you know, places where the houses are all different as you go along the road. That's much better, isn't it? It's just so boring, everything like Legoland all the time. And Tim Healy's in it as well, who returns to the show following illness. Now, which one is Tim Healy? What did he play then? Oh, let me look him up. Just a moment. Tim Healy. Tim Healy. Let's have a look at this. One moment, please. Tim Healy. Images. Let's see if I can... Oh, yes. We know Tim Healy. Yes. Excellent. Oh, I liked him. He was the one who was the one who dressed in the ladies' clothes. That was Tim Healy. Oh, I'm glad he's back. Yeah, it's a great character. And, of course, the boy who plays his son, the chemistry between those two is just amazing. It really is. We love it. We love it. Hall and Pace are joining the series as undercover detectives, Dennis and Nigel, investigating Les, played by Tim Healy, who returns to the show, as I say, following illness. As our exclusive picture shows, they've got exclusive pictures in the Daily Mirror. Joyce, played by the excellent actress Sherry Houston, who also, she was in the remake of Are You Being Served? Now, I thought that was blooming good. Did you see the remake of Are You Being Served? Now, was that last year? Early last year? Really good. I do hope they commission that as a new series, because it worked. You know, I'm always very, very suspect of reboots. A lot of them don't work. The Dad's Army film, dreadful. Dreadful. Now, when I say dreadful, I don't mean the film was crap. As a film, standing on its own, it was actually quite funny. But to try and connect it to the Dad's Army TV series, nope, didn't work. Didn't work like that. Whereas the Are You Being Served reboot, again, that was also written by Darren Litton, who writes Benidorm. I watched that and I thought that was really good. You know, very suspect first. Watched it and I thought, yeah, that worked. It was very, very funny. Very funny. Shane Ritchie is back for 4 episodes as entertainer Sammy Valentino, while the new faces include Lila Zaidi. Who's that? Lila Zaidi as Rob Dawson's girlfriend, and Julian Moore Cook as Joey's pal Callum. Oh, this is excellent. Show creator Darren. There's a picture of Bobby Ball in this morning's Daily Mirror. Have a look. Have a look if you can have a look at the Daily Mirror. It's not a very flattering picture. I think he needs his teeth done. Come on, Bobby, get your teeth done, mate. I'll get mine done if you get yours done. Oh. Well, I've got to ring the dentist, actually. Let me make a note of that. I've been putting it off for months now. Ring dentist, yes. Show creator Darren Litton says, when I first wrote the scripts of Benidorm, I had no idea it would change my life so dramatically over the next 10 years. He's got a big house now. That's why. He used to live in a rubbish bin. Now he lives in a house. How marvellous. It does change your life. I'm so grateful to our fans and ITV for giving Benidorm the best possible home we could hope for. Here's to the next 10 years. So that's all in the Daily Mirror this morning. An excellent series, and it has me laughing my head off. It really does. Good morning to Brendan Brady fan. Morning, Brendan Brady. A little bit late this morning. Better late than ever, although I'm about to finish in a few moments. Good. Good morning to Moses. Joe is there quite late this morning. Tim Healy was also in Auf Wiedersehen's Pet. Do you remember that? Yeah. His character in that Benidorm, though, is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Brookside Close sold off for £6,000. £6,000? What, the whole thing? Well, they probably... Were they real houses? They probably weren't real houses, were they? Were they just kind of put together type thing for the show? Awful, just awful though. Good. Mark also loves Benidorm. I hope to meet Darren one day. He's actually been in the pub at the same time as you, Mark. In fact, but I wouldn't tell you that because he doesn't want people to know. So he's actually been in a pub at the same time as you. All right. Good. Christina's looking for a mini break at the end of the month to Aviemore in Scotland. Beautiful place. Oh, my word. The Highlands of Scotland. Stunning. You want to go on holiday? Nice, quiet and peaceful. Find somewhere quiet and peaceful up there. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Andrew says real houses, but had missing walls. That's probably why it was so cheap. £6,000 for an entire housing estate. That's not bad, is it? Yeah. Good. Okay, let's do today's birthdays, boys and girls. Happy birthday. How many have we got this morning? I don't know, actually. I haven't got those lined up. Let's have a look. Oh, only 3 this morning. 3 birthdays this morning. Happy birthday to Stella Andrews. Happy birthday, Stella. I never see you watching, dear. Happy birthday, Stella. Stella used to come into the Black Cat where I was DJing. Happy birthday today to Trevor George Hellman, who is a young 49 years old today. And James Quaylo's birthday this morning as well. So just a 3 this morning. Happy birthday, gang. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. Oh, Stella, Trevor and Jamie. Happy birthday to you. La 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 la. Adam says they were all real houses at Brookside, but several of them healthy equipment and cameras, so where not built conventionally are inside. That don't make sense at all, Adam. Look what you've just written there. All real houses, but several of them healthy equipment and cameras, so where not built conventionally are inside. Nope, can't work that one out, Ad. Please check your writings before you hit the send button, dear. Andrew says, cameraman in Brookside stood in the bathroom to film a bedroom set. Is that right? Yeah, I can imagine that. No walls in there. All right, that's it for the show today. Thanks very much for joining me, boys and girls. It is, of course, Wednesday night. And so, what are you doing tonight? How about coming down to the quiz of the week, which is tonight and every Wednesday at the King's Head Theatre Pub, 115 Upper Street in Islington. I'll be hosting there, okay, from 8:30. You can win a £30 bar tab. £30 bar tab up there for grabs. All right, so quiz. And it's about time you came, Mark. You keep telling me that you're going to come and you don't appear. Ray Reynolds' team is joining us tonight as well, so you might want to join them, okay? So tonight, every Wednesday, it's quiz night tonight at the King's Head Theatre Pub, 115 Upper Street, Islington, London, N1 1QN. Have a lovely Wednesday, and I'll see you again at some point tomorrow. Bye-bye now.